No mai hoki mai anō kia Tapatahi. Kia ora and welcome to Tapatahi. I'm Billy Jo Hoheparopiha. It's Friday the 22nd of May and this is Māori Television's morning news program. Coming up, a Māori principal highlights the inequities her school deals with every day. We discuss the government's contact tracing app, and Destiny Church leader Brian Tamaki says he had police support to hold a church service despite level 2 restrictions on mass gatherings.
We worked together to make sure we had all of the health precautions in place and did everything right by that, which we did, and we want to keep our people safe.
That's on today's program, but first here's Piata Melbourne with the news.
Tēnā koe Billy Jo, e nei wi o te motu whānui rarau mai rā. He karaua e ono te kauma i watau te pakeke i patua i na pō i kirikiri roa, no muri i tana tono kia turituri te pāti a ana kiritata. Hei tāti wai wā tēnei i peke tētahi o rātau i te taiapa, ka patu i tōna kanohi, ka mauri o hoia.
Like he was nose to nose with me, and I wasn't going to back down from him, so you know, we just kept talking. The next minute he turned around and just punched me. And then he was going to come in for another punch, and the girls jumped over the fence. And one of them was the owner of the house. And they said, "Hey, leave him alone. He's an old man."
Nō te hekena ki te taumata tuarua, he tono kua tāpaitia e a hei ai nā tāngata e 50 te haere a tinana atu, ki nā tanihana e 150. Ka whai tēnei i te matekiri o te Māori ki nā here ōmua, ara kia te kauanake nā tāngata ki nā tangihana i te wākotahi. Hei tā tākuta Ashley Bloomfield i raro i nā here o te taumata tuarua, ka rehita nā kai whakahaere tangihanga mō tētahi tono whakawātea, e a hei ai nā tāngata e 50 ki nā tangihanga. He oe, me whai rātau i nā tūkanga hauora pēnei te tūtawhiti i te horoiringa, o tira kaua e kai e unu rānei i nā tanihana.
Some of these will be relate to the same event because there may be a registration for a service at a church and also one at a crematorium, but I'm really pleased to see that system has been working very well and enabling families and friends to get together and grieve for lost family members.
Ko te kōrero i te reo Māori me te mana o te rangatahi, nā tino take kua kōrero tia e te tūmata nui i roto i tētahi rangahau. Ko atu i te kotahi rauna urupare a whitiata nei i tonua ki te kāhui rangatira a iwi i tēnei wiki. Ka MUTU hei tā horangi MAKERE MUTU, ko te nuinga o te hunga i whai wāhi atu ki te rangahau, no Tamaki makaurau me te whanganui ātara.
Ka hore te iwi Māori e pai ana ki te mahi i te pāremata Pākehā, i ngā tari a te kāwanatanga me ngā āhuatanga katoa e pāna ki wēnā me e tohu mai ki a mātou i tēnei wā, i roto i te ao Pākehā.
Ko atu whera nā pāpara kauta, he oe me noho nā kiritaki katoa, me ko tahi ana ke te waitaki i a tēpu, ka whakai anake ki te mahi tono tēpu. Ko tā STEELE Williams, te kai whakahaere o te pāpara kauta The Book Club i kirikiri roa, e kapi tonu nei wētahi nā te itirau o nā huamori i raro i nā ture here. Ka kapi tonu tana pāpara kauta nā te korenga o nā utu mō wētahi kaimahi atu anō e tāia me te whakaheke hoki i nā kiritaki.
In terms of we'll probably have to double our staff workload, or not just the workload, just our number of staff. Being closed, I spent the last financial year saving up to make my bar better for everyone else. And as soon as COVID hit and we had to close, that money that I had earmarked for upgrades has now become the money that's carrying me through. The dollar figures are cool. I know that intoxicated people make it a bit hard to deal with. It's probably a bit harder to deal with some intoxicated people than going back to school and looking after kids.
Nā pāna o te mate korona, kua kaha ke te kite au ngā mahi ngaukino i ngā hapori Māori, rā i te hauora, te mahi kore, ngā take ture, take whare anō hoki. Koe nā tā te kai tohu mā tāmua a te kai komihana tamaiti, kai taunaki whakatika pūnaha hoki, tā Julia Whaipōti.
The important thing is that COVID didn't create inequities, it shone a light on existing inequities that already existed. And if we look at the government's response in level 2, and that's in the last week, what it really showed was the absence of Māori leadership and Māori power in decision-making at a government level, because we've seen staunch and strong leadership from Māori in the community with our iwi checkpoints and marae care packages.
Ki tauranga moana I naia nei, he ringa wera no nai te rangi kai te tunu parawa rewana hai toha atu ki te hunakau mātua. He kaupapa I timatake I te wao te noho rāhui, I tunu ai ngā rohi e rua rau, I roto noa I ngā rā e rua.
Ko tā mātou mahi I te awhina te tautoko I o tātou nei kaumātua, he mahi kore ochi. Ari te mea I katahi anō ka timata I tēnei.
A kāti, koe nā tāte ao Māori mō tēnei wā, ka hoki atu kia koe Billy Joe.
Getting hungry now. Well, during lockdown, thousands of electronic devices and resources to support home learning were sent out by the Ministry of Education. The $87 million package targeted those schools and students most in need. So Edmund Hillary Collegiate in Tūtira is a Decile 1 school. The principal, Kiri Tūkito, requested 200 devices for her students. She received just 73. Kiri Tūkito is online now. Morena.
Oh, kia ora, Billy Joe.
So what reason did the Ministry of Education give you for the shortfall?
Look, I think they were deficient in a lot of areas, and especially around devices. I think it was difficult for them to get those devices out to our students. And because we're in a vulnerable community, our students and our whānau are, you know, they could be at the address that's on a piece of paper that's in our kura. However, during lockdown, they could have moved to somewhere else where it was warmer or drier or with their whānau. So the devices didn't get out to us at all, and we only got a very small amount of those devices, and then I get an email saying that those devices will be coming out sometime this week. I think we could have, I think the ministry could have done better and probably spoke to those principals directly rather than a broadcast email out to the whole rōpū. So, yeah.
Was it just your school? Were there others that didn't receive these?
There were others in our cluster. So in our area around Tūtira, I know that they're speaking to my colleagues at other schools, that they had the same, I guess, deficiencies with devices being delivered. So, but I know that at other schools, they got 100% of those devices. So I'm not too sure where the shortfall was, or where the inequity was in terms of providing for such a vulnerable community.
Were they higher decile schools that received 100% of their requests?
Aye.
So how did teachers and students cope with this lack of resourcing during lockdown while the school was closed?
It was difficult. Our focus was more about keeping contact with our whānau, and that was through email. But as we know, with such a vulnerable community and in terms of socioeconomics, you know that internet is one of the first things that becomes a luxury. So if you're going to put kai on the table, then should you be having Sky and internet and all those we perceive as being the norm becomes luxuries for our whānau.
Yeah. You've said this is typical of the inequities you deal with every day. Tell me more.
I guess I personally feel, and I cannot speak on behalf of my friends at other schools in terms of the principals and other kura, but I feel personally aggrieved. I feel like we're almost like the forgotten nation. I feel like that I have to fight twice as hard to be half as good or be heard, and I'm not too sure how do I make that prevalent in today's society when we're being given the standard or the norm across. It's like a flat playing field. It's not flat.
Yeah,
it
absolutely.
Definitely isn't flat.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be in this position if it was. And we know that Māori in front of Māori is better for all.
Because how does this affect you personally and professionally?
I don't want to give up, and I want to see all our Māori students, and I want to see all our students full stop achieve. But because Māori continues to be the long brown tail of underachievement from the ministry, it's what is put in place for us to be better? If education is the key, then why are the locks different for every student, every kura, every whānau? And we know that education is power. Having the knowledge is power, but it seems that having the knowledge is power and power is authority. And that's what I'm coming up against, is that power is authority. It's not shared, and it's not an equal playing field.
No. I mean, COVID-19 was supposed to bring communities closer together. Is that your experience? Or?
What I have seen is I've seen our community and our kura come closer together. We've had staff going out in their own cars, using their own petrols to, I guess, service our whānau, and that's getting kai together in food packages and using their own putia and their own time to gather kai for our students, because they know that if they don't have a device, they know that social media is another way to get to our students. But a device for our students could possibly be a phone shared amongst 9 people. And it seems like I may be extreme in my communication, but we are at it every day. We see our whānau every day. So this is based on fact, and it's definitely not being alarmist.
Yeah. So what needs to change?
Exactly what exactly needs to change is we need more Māori at the table. We need Māori in principals associations. We need Māori and Pasifika speaking to the ministry. We need people who are at the coalface or the front line, which are usually Māori principals, Māori and Pasifika principals, and Māori and Pasifika teachers. We need them sitting at the table, and if you see the table is quite big. And the table is of a majority that is actually not catering for the minority. And there's a lot I'd like to do, and being front and centre for my kura is a start, but also for the community.
Are you going to lobby the ministry over this?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And part of that lobbying is, it's not about drowning our voices. It's about saying, hey, look, there's some amazing things and awesome things that are happening in the community. You need to focus on that. Because the lockdown for our whānau wasn't about, the information that we've been given is that ease the students back into school. They'll be traumatised. They'll be thinking this, what's coming. Actually, the trauma for them is coming back to school. Majority of our students have been in a safe and loving environment that has been their normal. And we've got to stop, I guess the word is, we've got to stop assuming that students coming back to school, that they've been in a traumatic situation. They haven't. Yeah. They may have not had to be able to, they may have been doing dishes all the time, and that's trauma for a lot of teenagers.
Absolutely. Well, ngā mihi, thank you for joining us this morning, and good luck.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So tell us your thoughts about today's program. You can post on our Facebook page or send an email to tapatahi@māoritelevision.com. Coming up after the break, a Māori youth program gets a big payout, and we discuss a Māori approach to maternity care. Kia ora anō. A Māori youth program has been awarded $500,000 by the government. Bros for Change, based in Kaikoura, got the funding boost from the Poutama Rangatahi Youth Training and Employment Fund. Former sports star JAYE PUKEPUKE set up Bros for Change to transform the lives of rangatahi who had been written off by many. JAYE is with me now. Morena.
Morena.
Morena, and you are in Kaikoura this morning?
Carl, I'm actually in Christchurch at the moment.
Tāpatahi. Beautiful artwork you've got there behind you. Did you do that?
Yeah. Not really an artist, but we just like to have a go at things.
Yeah, you're very talented. Anyway, $500,000, that's a lot of money. You must be really good at what you do. How important is this funding?
Yeah, I guess it is a lot of money, and we're only a small organisation, but having that money allows us to actually go and do the mahi. Like we've been talking for a long time, and watching people go into Kaikoura and talk a lot, but we actually need to go in and do the mahi now.
Yeah. And in terms of why I said a lot of money, you absolutely deserve it, because what you're doing is it's a change for these rangatahi. Tell me more about the program.
Yeah, well, the program's going to be about 20 weeks or 6 months long, and consists of about 6 milestones or 6 po. All of them are key to getting through the whole program, starting with a week-long camp in the bush, just to build the relationships or whakawhanungatanga. Yeah. And that pretty much sets up the rest of the camp, having that relationship, stripping everyone back to just the raw nature of themselves and getting through tasks, pushing through barriers and figuring out obstacles.
Because what are some of the stories you're getting from rangatahi,
Yeah, I guess they're bored. They're not sure what to do or how how to go about things. We're actually not trying to change them. We're just like throwing out a whole lot of tools that we have, and because it's self-referred, so they're all here because they want to be. They can pick up and take what they want and put that into their own lives.
Can you tell me the history about the course, how and why you started it?
Yeah, well, I had a bit of a colourful background, myself and the other co-founder. So we actually volunteered and worked in youth justice for a few years, and out of that we thought that we had more to give than what we were allowed because of all the red tape. So what we did is we just stepped out and just wrote our own program, and it's turned into a bit of a monster actually. So we're pretty happy with where we started to where it is now, and the stories that we're hearing from the rangatahi and the whānau.
And can you tell me some of those stories? Like what sort of change do you see in the boys or men?
I guess we've had one boy come through our program, and he's now one of the head boys at his school. Another boy, he went back to school after our program. He was going to leave school before he came on our program, and then he was the first one in his year to get NCA level 1 and 2. There's a couple of stories. We can't retain them all, but even if we got those 2, that's better than nothing.
That's right. And what sort of backgrounds are they mostly coming from in terms of their family life?
Yeah, all sorts of background. Mostly they came from, actually all these boys have been labelled, whatever, and most of them act to their label. So all we're doing is we're looking at them with a different lens and a kaupapa Māori view, and hoping that they can see their potential that we see, and one day they can realise any opportunities that come their way, rather than making decisions now that affect the path they could go on.
Now, Jay, why are you so successful at getting cut through with these boys? Now, you can show off. You're allowed to be a kumara. Tell us why.
Yeah, I guess, we have a tagline, real people, real talk, real change. Like, we're not here trying to be their mates. We're here telling a story of our life experience, and, we done it hard. So hopefully the youth don't have to, and it's up to them to take it. No one's forcing them. Like I said, they're all here because they want. We're really honest with them. We tell the truth and how it is, and they seem to respond to that. There's there's no ifs, ums or buts or grey areas. It's just straight to the point. And, you know, that's life, eh? You take it or you don't.
Yeah. Now, you're former league player. Can you tell me more about that history and how it's moulded you till today?
Yeah, I was, you know, I've played league all my life and managed to get a stint with the Warriors, you know, before I sort of turned to the dark side. And when I sort of wanted to come out back into the light again, I got offered contracts to play in the NRL, which I couldn't because you needed a visa to travel to Aussie. So, you know, that was one of my lifetime aspirations, was to be a professional league player.
Yeah.
And because of the choices I made, I couldn't realise that opportunity when it came. I guess that's one of the catalysts of starting Brosa Changes, to making sure that if an opportunity comes along for rangatahi, that they're able to take it.
Yeah, and that's a beautiful story there, because you're trying to help others, because, you know, you had a few hurdles along your way, the way. Is there one particular success story that stands out for you where Bros for Change made a difference?
Yeah, it would definitely have to be a young boy, Mana. His story featured on demand, rediscovering Aotearoa, and he grew up in foster homes, and didn't really know his whakapapa, so he had no identity. He came to us, and I think he only needed a week with us in the bush, and he came out a different person. I guess we installed confidence in him, to believe in himself, and, you know, always walk around proud and tall, no matter what. And yeah, he's gone on to be an awesome young man, and he's still at school. He's a senior, and he's either head boy or second head boy, whatever, deputy head boy, or yeah. So you know, that's a fantastic outcome for us. And
yeah, hey, beautiful. Thank you for being here this morning, but for doing what you're doing, ngā mihi.
Tāpai.
So let us know what you think on our Facebook page or by email tapatahi@māoritelevision.com. Here's Piata with the news headlines.
Kia ora Billy Joe, kai aku rangatira huri noa ngā mihi o te ata. Mo te rā tuawha karapipiti, ka hore he tangata ke atu kua pāngia e te mate korona, no reira 1,500 tonu te tōpūtanga tūroro. He koraua e ono te kaima i watau te pakeke i patua i kirikiri roa, no muri i tana tono kia turituri te pāti a āna kiritata. Hei tā tiwai wā tēne i peke tētahi o rātau i te taiapa, ka patu i tōna kanohi ka mauri oho ia. No te hekena ki te taumata tuarua, he tono kua tāpaitia e a hei ai ngā tāngata e 50, te haere a tinana atu ki ngā tangihana e 150. Mā te taupānga mate korona hu a te manatu hauora, e a hei ai te kāwanatanga te kohiraraunga e pai ai te whaipārongo. Kua atu whera anō nā pāpara kauta, he oe me noho nā kiritaki katoa, kia kotahi ana ke te waita ki ia tēpū, ka whakaai ana ki ngā mahi ngā tono tēpū. He ringa wera nō ngā e te rangi i kai te tunu parawa rewana, hei toha atu ki te hunakau mātua, i tunu ai ngā rohi e rua rau i roto noa i ngā rā e rua. Akāti, koe nā nakarere mō tēnei haora, kai a koe te Wābili Joe.
Kia ora. Destiny Church leader Brian Tamaki says he plans to keep ignoring the government's level 2 restrictions around mass gatherings. He maintains he has police support to do so, and his followers are legally entitled to practice religious freedom under the Bill of Rights Act. Wena Harawira spoke to Brian Tamaki.
On Sunday, you held a church service. Why? And that was deliberately against the 10 people cap of the government. What did you hope to establish by doing so?
Well, I believe it was, first of all, a breach of our religious freedoms, definitely, and the Bill of Rights and all that stuff. And also, I felt a huge encroachment on our civil liberties. And now I've just heard from Simeon Brown, an MP and National, has got an official letter from the New Zealand Police that actually Jacinda Ardern was close to misleading, or was misleading, that churches could actually have met with 100 and plus workers on top of that safely. So she denied that. So that was always something that I believe that was going to come out open in public, and it just has. So we were right in actually not only getting together as a church, but we should have been able to do it without having all of the media hype that we were trying to break the law and people getting upset with us. We were right and all along. So this Sunday we'll be meeting open.
Do you feel that the government has been inconsistent in its messaging around safe gatherings?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, even the police were confused, because I was talking to regional commander and also the, many of the police people that were working with us were saying that they couldn't understand it, and it was for them confusing. So I think at that point we worked together to make sure we had all of the health precautions in place and did everything right by that, which we did, and we want to keep our people safe. Yeah.
You're also exercising some of the other options that other churches were doing, which is online gatherings. I noticed on Sunday you also had big screens up so that people could park up and watch the service.
Yeah, yes, we did. Well, that was part of it, because so many, not just our own church members, but many others from other churches, they just wanted to get out of their bedroom and get into a place of worship openly. So the drive-in church, which we did before the lockdown, was the way to go. So there was almost over 2,000 people on site. By the time we had the cars, I think there was over 400 that we could count at the time, but they were all down the street, apart from our 350 car parking in the church. So yes, it was a good gathering.
Were you expecting the police to break up the gathering?
No, they didn't want to. I was talking to police commanders that are high up in the region, and they never wanted to get into that sort of level.
Who were the police officers? Sorry, Brian. Who were the police officers you were talking to?
Jill Rogers, who's the regional commander for Counties Manukau, and also Willie Homaha, who's the deputy. So, yeah, those two. But there are others that we have. We just have good relationship with them. So I don't know. It was like a very friendly situation, and they're glad that we're doing it.
What advice did they give you?
Mainly around the social distancing, probably making sure we wash our hands, and probably tracking as well, which we do. But we have a COVID-19 test site on the church property in our car park that is actually still running, which is the main one for all of South Auckland. So a lot of our members had already been tested. So we had some of the strictest keeping health precautions as anybody.
So the Labor government, Jacinda Ardern, has been talking to church leaders around the restrictions for gatherings, but she hasn't spoken to you. Why do you think that is?
Probably because I'm too hot politically. That would be what I think politically I'm involved, because many of the pastors and reverends and that she's talking to are friends of mine. So I would say that would be the number one reason I'm political. Number two, she knows I'm probably her biggest thorn in the side, and possibly could have the most influence on Christians and possibly Māori, because, you know, my stance on this, I'm totally opposed to this Labor government. I think it's dangerous for our country and dangerous for our future. Absolutely.
Is that also because of the concerns around the COVID-19 Public Health Response Act that has generated quite a few of these restrictions and given sweeping powers to the government and the police?
Yes, but we could go right back from that bill, particular, and go back to many other incidents that have happened also, even prior to the COVID-19 lockdown. You know how Māori were treated, uplifting our babies. You know how we were not getting anywhere with this government as in regards to needs for Māori, unemployment and poverty, child poverty beneficiaries. It goes on and on and on. Prison numbers, nothing has changed. It got worse. And all the time we have the largest number of Māori MPs ever in government, 27, and all the Māori seats are stuck in there. And I suppose I'm not rude in saying that they practically done nothing to help that and to give Māori a better opportunity and chance for its future. So when this came up with this particular bill, the Public Health Response Bill, that's nigh evil. And it certainly was discriminatory toward Māori in such a way that I believe every true Māori, warm-blooded, hot-blooded Māori can never vote for Labour in this election. They should never vote Labour again, because this is not the Labour Party that your parents and my parents and grandparents voted for. This is a different one, and they are not for Māori at all. And I think the Māori Party is the same. No Māori can vote for the Māori Party, and their resurgence will come back because they've expressed that they're going to support Labour. And on that, they're accessories to the crime. And so you probably Māori will say, well, who can we vote for? Well, they won't vote for National, so that leaves only one party called Vision New Zealand. And we'll carry the aspirations of Māori really good. A lot of our people are. A lot of the generations that have opened their eyes now and can see that we need a new vehicle. It's a new time. It's extraordinary days we're living in, and we can't keep being the same old Māori way of, thinking that we need to hook up with Labour and trust them. It's time to find a vehicle and express ourselves better.
So this is a political issue. We're heading towards a general election later this year. So these are some of the issues that Vision New Zealand is going to be pushing.
Well, yes, we are. We believe that there is a better way and a better future for Māori. We're like a battered wife syndrome. Māori keep going back to the abusive husband, get beaten, and then we sort of want to go away, but then we end up going back to it again. Time and again, we go back to that abuse. And I think it's time for iwi leaders and Māori academics and just everyday Māori who are trying to get a life to get ahead. We need better options than what we're getting now. We don't want the same old hui. We want some dui. We want something to happen. And if that's going to happen, it needs something fairly interruptive, drastic, because we just keep casually falling in, as I said, to that battered wife syndrome. Enough is enough.
Are you looking at working alongside iwi leaders in terms of addressing these issues? Because you're fairly ostracised by many of them, aren't you?
No, I'm not ostracising myself. They ostracise me probably because we got on with the work. It's evident with the large number of young families and not so young and Māoris now that are finding that their answers are not complete with just what we've had in our history or past. And so I'm always willing to work with iwi. Of course I am. I want to work with everybody in Māoridom to come to better solutions. Be more open. Don't be so threatened with each other. No jealousy. Let's be at the table and say, where can we go from here? Because this pandemic has given us a great opportunity to be able to do extraordinary things. Wipe out a lot of the bureaucracy that has in the past gone the way, and some of the tikanga too that might hold us up. Let's get our people into prosperity and a better future.
Finally, Brian, we've got another Sunday coming up. Do you plan to hold another service? And if you do, what's your message to other churches in New Zealand?
Same as my message last week. I said we're opening the doors and we will be doing it again this Sunday, and this time they're wide open. And so we're holding our service. And as I said, I invited every other church last week to go and have your service. Proved right. The police have proved that Jacinda Ardern lied and keeping the numbers down to 10. We legally could have met with 100 people, and plus that's not including all the workers. So we were right in our stand. We were right what we did. So it'll be full on this weekend.
Tēnā koe e te pīhopa. Thank you very much for your time.
Kia ora.
And tell us what you think about our program. Post on our Facebook page or email us at tapatahi@māoritelevision.com. Stay with us. We'll be back after the break. Kia ora anō. Race Relations Commissioner Meng Foon has revived the call to commemorate the New Zealand land wars with a public holiday. He joins us now to discuss the issue on the phone. Morena Meng. Kei te aha.
Morena Billy and kei te aha koe.
Kei te pai. So the national government agreed to observe the New Zealand wars as a public holiday back in 2016, but got stuck on a date. Do you have your own idea about an appropriate day?
Oh, look, there's been many debates about a date, but the main thing is that we actually set this down in stone in terms of in statute and legislation, because it is an important part of our history, a very important part. It actually changed a lot of lives, and more particularly Māori lives. At the present time, it's the 25th of October, which is on Labour Day, and it could quite easily make an extension to that day, because the wars actually started in 1845, around about the 1870s, and there's many dates. And it's actually a tapestry of land battles right throughout the nation, and all the different theatres of war have their own dates, ends and beginnings. So it's really conceptually a date which commemorates the New Zealand wars. It's very important.
Mm. You believe now is the right time to commemorate the New Zealand land wars with a public holiday. Why?
Well, look, I was actually quite excited when the Prime Minister said, look, we should actually have some more public holidays. And on my own, look, this is not a new pake, not a new topic. This is following it on from the students of Waipa. They actually brought a petition to Parliament. They had about 12,000 signatures, the kids of Otorohanga School. And then in Te Ururo and the Māori Party, they supported that along with the National Party, and they set up an advisory panel. And so since 2017, they've started the commemorations. But to actually set it into stone bodes well for our future, bodes well for our nationhood. It'll enable our children to participate, to research, to be more informed about where we come from. And where we come from and who we are is very important in going forward. My role as the Race Relations Commissioner is to maintain and enhance harmonious communities. And the most important thing is actually knowing our history, knowing our culture. And it's great that the Prime Minister has said that in 2021 they are going to teach New Zealand history in schools, and I hope that New Zealand history is also part of the local history of each area. Commemorations have been going on for a long time in various districts where these pakanga had taken place. I've been to our ones in Gisborne at Wairingahika, where they commemorate the tragic loss of all of the Tūranga fleets, taking of their people over to the Chatham Islands without trial. And so there's warts and all in whatever good that's come out of it. It is a rich history which we should do. You know, why are we doing Napoleon and Crimean War and all that sort of stuff? I mean, it's just so fascinating.
Yeah, we're just getting. Excuse me. Sorry, Matua. We're just getting a bit of an interference. If you could just move away from the speaker. Are you at a concert? No, I'm not too sure where you are, but if we're just getting a bit of interference and we can't really hear you, are you able to move to another position?
No, I think it's something at your end.
It's probably at our end. There we go.
People talking.
Okay, we'll carry on.
If you follows me. Hey,
it's us, it's not Gisborne. 10 public holidays, but Waitangi Day is the only one that focuses on the relationship with Māori. What's your opinion about this?
Well, as a nation, we have only one day that actually acknowledges the treaty, which was signed in 1840, and it's just the only New Zealand home-grown public holiday. Now, all the other holidays, like even including Anzac, Christmas, Boxing Day, Easter, Good Friday, Queen's Birthday, all come from and have influence from overseas. Nothing to do with the history of our place, other than Anzac, that we fought a war and we commemorate our soldiers, but more importantly that we have a duty to actually commemorate a day for our people in terms of our history in Aotearoa, and that is the New Zealand Wars. It is a tragic event, but it deserves commemoration. It deserves us sharing our stories, learning our stories, and telling our stories as much as possible so that actually creates harmonious communities going forward. And when the children of Ōtorohanga School in 2011, they are the future leaders, they saw the vision, and we must listen to our children. Our children have the future in their hands and they know what is good for them.
Absolutely. Ngā mihi, thank you for joining us this morning. Sorry about the interference, it was our fault, not yours. Good luck. Okay, in Tauranga, Ngāi Te Rangi bakers are still churning out rewana bread to distribute to the elderly. It's a continuation of a project that started under lockdown when more than 200 loaves were baked in just 2 days.
He prawa rewana ki te māhora atu, ki ngā tini kaumātua.
Ai tēnei rangi toru rau whitu te kau pēr.
Ko te pūtake o tēnei kaupapa he tuku kai ki ngā kaumātua o Ngāi Te Rangi, hei reka mā o rātou pakeke i tēnei wā taumaha. Me te ahai tīmata i te hia o tēnei wharekai, te tuku prāwa e hāngai ana kia matariki, mea rawa ake, ka pue ake, tēnei kaupapa.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's an honour and gives me goosebumps, and I hope everyone will enjoy and be really happy about it. Yeah.
Ko tētahi o ngā painga o tēnei āhuatanga, ka whai torotoro ngā paku mō ngā pakeke.
Ko ngā taumahatanga kei rungi o tātou nei kaumātua, ko te noho moke pēr. E hari te mea e noho kore kai, mo te nuinga, e hari te mea he noho makariri, engari e noho moke rātou. Ko tai rātou, tātou hoki, ki te kete anō i o tātou nei mokopuna.
Ko tēnei tētahi noa o ngā kaupapa ka kōkiritia e Ngāi Te Rangi ki te manaaki i ōna pakeke.
Ko tā mātou mahi i te awhina te tautoko i o tātou nei kaumātua, he mahi i kore ochi. Ari te mea i katahi anō ka timata i tēnei.
He koanga ngā kau o mō ngā kaumātua, he hiki ngā wairua mo te hapori. Tika tonu, kua whiu. He ta Gardner, te ao Māori.
Oh, look at that butter, beautiful. Next up, we talk to Piri McMath of Platform Advertising, a digital agency. She's been supporting iwi Māori businesses in the digital space in the Tauranga Moana area during COVID-19 and tells us what this has involved. Morena Piri. Morena, can we hear you there?
Yes.
Yeah, there we go, we've got you. Can you tell me more about your business?
Sure. My business is a full-service agency, but we specialise in digital communications, and we provide a service to Māori businesses, small businesses, iwi, and then a whole host of other mainstream organisations.
So how is that advertising space going, given, you know, a lot of businesses are out of work? What's it like? And is it getting cheaper for businesses because of this?
I think the work that we've been involved in at the moment has been in the business recovery. So a lot of cafes within the city we've been working with, but for Māori businesses, it has been a real focus on the Māori tourism, which has of course been severely impacted by COVID-19, so they've needed a lot of support. And over the hill in Rotorua, especially some of our businesses that are located over there and in Tauranga, but a lot of our work has been concentrated through Potama Trust and the Māori Recovery Fund that has been available through the Māori Tourism organisation. And so we've been working with them to try to, through the levels, to try and get their businesses operating to some degree, because a lot of them haven't been able to operate. So that has meant raising the capability of those businesses online. So building online stores where they may have had physical stores, social media strategies, putting in place digital tools so to support their businesses, whether that's project management tools or managing their payroll systems, or, you know, with Thank You Payroll and other online services, or booking systems for them, and really just looking at plans going into the future and how they can reinvent their businesses through COVID.
So you provide a myriad of opportunities for them. What businesses have you helped and started up stores? Can you give any examples?
Sure. We're currently working with a company called Rakai Jade, and they do beautiful taonga, pounamu taonga, amazing custom pieces. Most of their work prior to COVID was through commissioned work overseas and in New Zealand. So some really beautiful work. So we've helped to set up their web store. Wow. And we've had to do all of that in quite short time frames. So really trying hard to get people, get these businesses up and running.
So are there young Māori in your business?
There are. We have the majority are Māori staff, and so that's helpful with the Māori businesses we work with. We're also working with iwi through business, through COVID-19, and making sure that we're able to provide our services to our people. So having Māori staff has been essential through this time.
So how have you had to overcome contact tracing? Or
it's been relatively an easy process for us. We've been able to use the apps, and because we're still working from home, we're not in contact with any customers at all. So most of our communication is via Zoom at this stage. Yeah.
In terms of the contact tracing app that they've just released now, have you signed up to that? Do you use it?
Yeah, I've signed up to it. It came out yesterday, so we've downloaded it and we have it, and we will be moving to our offices next week. So we've got that in place to be able to use. But yeah, as to, I think there's probably a few glitches along the way. There'll be some and maybe some updates that happen as a result. So I'm not too sure how that's working. I have used the other apps that cafes have had available, and that's been quite seamless.
You're also working with Māori businesses across the Bay of Plenty to help them access the Business Continuity Fund. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so the Business Continuity Fund is through Potama Trust. And it's a fund that I think is a maximum of $5,000 for Māori businesses, and also through the New Zealand Trade and Enterprise. And again, that is a maximum of $5,000, though I think depending on which area you're in will determine how they're allocating that. I know the uptake has been huge, and we've had a number of businesses who have contacted us, probably in earlier stages with hospitality industry needing to open and needing to rejig and their menus and their offering, and so needing assistance with technology to be able to help that happen, and to be able to have payment apps and different ways of dealing with the customer with all the distancing that they have to do and the non-contact. So that's definitely been something that's been very very busy through New Zealand Trade and Enterprise.
Excellent. And you sound like you've been really busy. Are you looking to hire more staff?
We have hired through the COVID-19. We had to increase our capability and pick up a couple of extra staff and bring on contractors because we have been so busy through this period, and we will look to recruit once we get into a space for if this work continues to be at this level, which I imagine it will be.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us this morning, Piri, and good luck with your mahi, there's a lot of it.
No problem. Ka kite.
Ka kite. Speaking te reo Māori and sharing rangatahi leadership were some of the key priorities that have been identified in a vision response from people across Aotearoa. The National Iwi Chairs Forum received over 100 survey and video statements. Professor MAKERE MUTU says the main contributors towards the national vision have been Māori, Aucklanders and Wellingtonians.
E mātou i te mahi a māteke mai Aotearoa, ka hore te iwi Māori e pai ana ki te mahi i te pāremata Pākehā, i ngā tari a te kāwanatanga me ngā āhuatanga katoa e pāna ki wena me e tohu mai ki a mātou i tēnei wā, i roto i te ao Pākehā. Me te ki atu, kaua e uhia tēnā tūmomo āhuatanga i runga tonu i a mātou. Waihonge e tēnā ki te taha. Mā te iwi Māori, mā te whānau, mā te hapu, mā te iwi, e ki, me ahu ana tātou ki hea, kei a ngai tātou te iwi Māori te mana motuhake mō a tātou haerenga i rungi i tēnei huarahi, mō ngā rā kei te haere mai, mō ngā tamariki mokopuna kei te haere mai. Engari, ko te mea nui, kua kitea, he aha ngā tino kaupapa, e ngau nei ki te ngākau, ki te hinangaro o te tangata. A koia e nei ko te TAWHIAO, he tino mea nui tēnei ko papa tuanuku, rangi nui, a ko te TAWHIAO, he mea tino nui. Tēnei me te kōrero i te reo rangatira. He mea tino nui rawa, ko te nuinga e kōrero ana mō rātou hia ki a kōrero te reo rangatira putano i te mutu. Ko tēnei mea te tika tangata, ara human rights. Kei ia tangata, mena he Pākehā, mena he Māori, he Hainamana, he Inana, he Haua, he LGBTQI+. Aha ko te aha, tamariki mokopuna kuia kaumātua, kaia koutou ngā tika tangata.
Waikato Tainui leaders say the health and well-being of the Waikato River is paramount and must not be plundered to solve Auckland's latest water crisis. Te Ara Taura Chair Rukumoana Schaafhausen says the river is already under stress from over-allocation, which is affecting the environment and the people of Waikato Tainui. Tribal leaders are planning to outline their concerns to water care executives this week. Well, that's Tapatahi for this week. Thanks to all our guests who joined us, and thank you for watching. We welcome your feedback. Post on Facebook or send an email to tapatahi@māoritelevision.com. And don't forget, you can catch up on the week's highlights on Tapatahi on Sunday. Hei kona, mō te wā.